Hello everybody, welcome to my channel, Britty Sippin' Pretty. If you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe, okay? We're trying to get to 1K, thanks. And for all my followers that are coming back, hi. We're in a little bit different setting today because, and as you guys know, I have to give this disclaimer from ahead of time, I do not edit my videos. This is very much raw and uncut, okay? I don't know how. Anyways, but today I came here to post a video about a lot of questions that everybody's been asking me considering my husband and how I became a widow at a very young age, okay? And I figured I should make a YouTube video about it, explaining it instead of having to say it every day on TikTok, okay? So here we go. We're gonna get into it. It might get a little emotional. I'm currently in a very healed but not healed position in my life. So we're gonna see how this goes. And yeah, you guys just bear with me, please. Thanks. I want to start off by giving a little background story, okay? My husband was in as bad as of a person as everybody tries to make him seem from my domestic violence video. To be honest, I wouldn't even have personally posted that video if it was under different circumstances, because I didn't want anybody to know that about him, especially considering that he died. I didn't think it was right for me to defamate his character. I'm recording a video. You have to get out, please. Don't come back until I'm done. Thanks. Anyways, sorry about that. But yeah, that was my 3-year-old Benji. I'll show him in the end because he's just all up in my, if you're on my TikTok, you know Benji's all up in my business, okay? But anyways, so background story is me and my husband we've been together since 2011. I met him in a parking lot in Malvern. We moved together October 2011. I met him in July and we moved in together October of 2011. We've lived together ever since until 2021 when he passed away. We had our first kid in 2015, Mason. I'm lying. I'm capping. We had our first kid in 2013. That was Mason. And then we had the second one in 2015, which is Xavion. And then Benji we had in 2019. And then I also have another son. He's 13. I met him when my husband Timmy was. Am I confused? Like, I'm giving confused. I'm nervous as hell to explain this story. I'm so nervous. You don't even know. Like, okay. Okay. Basically, we have 3 kids, and I have 4, and one of the kids aren't his, which is my oldest, and he raised him though. I met him when my son was 1 year old. Throughout our relationship, it's obviously been a relationship, right? You go through a lot of ups and downs. There's cheating, there's this, there's that, there's just a bunch of different things that happen, obviously, right? Throughout it all, I stayed for the most part. Within the 10 years, we broke up for 10 months. And after that 10 months, we got married. We got married in 2018, August 20th, 2018. It was a very private ceremony. It was just me, my little sister, my grandma, my cousin, and Tim. We did a big reception, which all of our family was invited to, but some didn't come, which was their choice, right? I'm not going to say everybody was the happiest when we got married because of the dynamic between the two of us. I don't think that people thought that it was a good idea, but it was our lives, so we did it anyways. Throughout of our marriage, it wasn't bad. You know what I mean? It was hard, it was difficult, but I wouldn't say that it was a super bad experience for me where like I would never do it again. And for those wondering, would I get married again? I would get married again, but under different circumstances. You know what I mean? Like, I married kind of with my eyes closed, you know? Like, I wanted to get married. I did. He wanted to get married. But I don't think we both knew what marriage entailed for us when we were going into it. You know what I mean? The first year was actually really difficult. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, the first 6 months of our marriage was actually so difficult, not just for him, but for me too, to adjust to. we can't really leave each other. We can't really break up. We have to resolve all of our issues. There's nothing that has like you can't leave anything unsaid, because eventually it starts to fester, and then you just like argue for absolutely no reason. It becomes very tumultuous, right? So I started having to learn to keep my business to myself because I'm a talker. I will go to my friends immediately. I'm one of those people that called my best friend, my sister, immediately. And I'm like, you guys, guess what he did to me? You know what I mean? Like, it can happen at 30 seconds before, and I will call in that 30 seconds. Like, you guys, guess what happened? And like and even like in any of my relationships, all of my mans are looking at me like, bro, you don't know how to shut your mouth. Like, and I don't. And to this day, okay, like, but I had to learn to very much keep my marriage business to myself. That was hard because who am I talking to? Nobody I knew was married either. So it's just like I had to talk to Jesus. And sometimes he don't be answering back. You know those ones? So I'm just like, okay. Left me on red several times. Jesus left me on red, but we figured it out. You know what I mean? We had very good times. There's times that I've laughed in the bed with that man until I cried. You know what I mean? Over absolutely nothing, okay? Like, just like a look. We'll be sitting in the bed and like he'll look at me and then I'll look at him and we'll just burst out dying of laughter. Like, we don't even know why we're laughing, but we know why we're laughing, but we don't know why we're laughing, but we're laughing. You know those ones? So it's just like, the night he passed away was very confusing to me. It took me a really, 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 really long time to not blame myself, or not think that something was wrong with me, because I didn't know like what happened, right? So I'm just gonna start from that day. I was just trying to give you guys a little backstory or whatever. So basically the night that my husband died, it was April 2nd, the very much morning. It was about 3 o'clock in the morning. Prior to that, 2 weeks before that, he overdosed. And he just came out of prison because he had somebody, basically things happened. He got arrested. I ended up taking the charge for him at court. I went and I took the charge. So he got to walk free. That was the end of February of 2021. He got out February 25th, I believe, of 2021. His transition from out to jail to the road life was so difficult for him. I seen it was difficult for him because prior to him going to jail, he was completely sober. He got better. He got sober. He did his steps. He did his programs. He took Suboxone. He took whatever he had to take to make sure he was the best person he could be. Especially after the incident happened when in my previous video, when that happened, he did decide to get sober, and he did. He became such an amazing husband and father and friend. And then basically he got arrested and he went to jail. I took the charges. Sorry. He got out. Sorry, I had to cut the video for a second, you guys. I was freaking out. So my husband died April 18th. He got out of jail April 25th. I took charges for him. Sometimes I wish I didn't. I do wish I didn't. To this day. What happened that night was we were watching a movie. At the time I was on sleeping medication. I took one more than I was actually supposed to because my body got immune to it and it stopped working. So he said, just take one more, like an extra one or whatever. So I did. We were watching a movie. I have lights in my room. I barely use them because they were very much on the night he died, and that's all I can remember is those blue lights on that curtain. I I ended up um I ended up falling asleep at about, I don't even know what time, at about 3 o'clock in the morning. My son Mason, my second youngest, he came upstairs and he woke me up and he said, Mom, Daddy left. And I was like, what do you mean he left? But I was so discombobulated because of my sleeping pills. So I was kind of like confused at first. Like, what do you mean he left? I thought he was outside smoking a cigarette at first. But that's what Mason said too. He said, Mom, I thought he was outside smoking a cigarette. He's not outside smoking a cigarette. So obviously I had to get to wherever was going on around me. I ran downstairs. I tried to, you know what I mean? I jumped up out of my bed. I called him. I WhatsApped him. It wasn't up until about 3:20 in the morning, my heart dropped. And I was laying in my bed, and I don't know what made it drop. I was just trying to call him, and my heart just dropped inside of my chest. And at that moment, like, I knew something was wrong, but I didn't know exactly what it was. So I just kept like trying to call him and trying to call him. And like the little voice in the back of my head is like, bro, like, you know what I mean? Like, maybe like something's more wrong than you think. Like, and I'm like, no, there's no way, right? I was calling him for about 2 hours. I ended up falling asleep again at about 5 a.m. I just couldn't fight the sleeping pills. At 9 a.m., the doorbell rang. The police were at the door. And they told me that basically they just asked if I have a car. I said, yeah. They asked me for the description of the car. I gave them the description of my car. They asked me for the description of my husband. I gave them the description of my husband. They asked me what IDs he usually has on him, or if there's anything distinctive about him that, like, would point him out. So I said, he has tattoos, like, all over his neck. Like, it's his whole neck is completely covered. It's almost covering, like, it's almost up to his face, like, on his face. I explained his tattoos and everything. They just kind of looked at each other, and one of the officers says, I'm sorry to tell you, he didn't make it. And at first I was really confused. Like, I didn't even believe him. I was kind of like, what are you talking about? Like, what do you mean he didn't make it? Like, yeah, he did. Like, he's probably just in the hospital. Like, just call the hospital. And they were just like, no, we're sorry to tell you, like, he passed away. Like, he's not here anymore. At that moment, honestly, the floor left from underneath my body. I did not even know where I was at first, to be honest. I really didn't. When the officer had told me basically that, like, there was like blood on his face, and he like he died. Like, they know he's dead. I didn't understand how he died. I knew how he died, but I just didn't understand why. So I was like, no, he's a fighter. I know he's a fighter. There ain't no way he's getting taken out like that. Like, I know he's not gonna go out like that. Like, I know it. But they ended up getting a hold of my sister and telling her to come over or whatever. After that, I kind of had to tell my kids, but I didn't know how. I just told them, like, that their dad is gone. And we kind of all just stood in a circle staring at each other for like a little while in silence, because I didn't know what else to say. Um, I didn't even know what else to do, to be honest with you. Like, I didn't even have words in my own head for myself to try to even console myself or anybody. Like, I was so lost. I could hear wind blowing through my ears. I honestly didn't even know how I was standing. Um, Basically, later I figured already that he had overdosed because I already knew the history and whatever the case may be. I just figured, you know, that's what it was. When we got back the coroner's report, they said that his heart stopped, and even if they wanted to save him, they couldn't. His heart completely gave out. It just went dead in his chest, completely dead in his chest, like completely dead. He died of an overdose. Um, in my car. I don't have the car anymore, but I did have it at a point in time. But he died of an overdose in my car. Um, I had to bury him in 2 different days. We had a funeral service because of COVID, and then we had to do a burial service the next day. That was so difficult in itself. I had to write the obituary as well. Um, the most difficult part for me, personally speaking, becoming a widow, um, was the fact that I felt worthless. I felt like I wasn't, like, how could you just leave me? Like, you got up, you see me sleeping, and you still just left. And it's not like I didn't even try or work really, really hard to be the person that I am now. And him too, you know what I mean? Like, we had 10 years together. So it's like, I understand addiction because I've been in it. You know what I mean? I get it. Like, a lot of the times, the people around you, they're not even important. You don't even care. You don't even care about your own kids sometimes. You know what I mean? But I felt so empty and like sad, like, because I would have never left you like that. Like, I would have died for you. You know what I mean? And it's just like, it hurt me so bad that, like, it took me a long time to even forgive him for leaving, because, like, bro, you woke up, you got yourself dressed, you seen me sleeping, and you still chose to just leave me with all these kids by myself. Like, you know what I mean? And it's just like, I was completely disregarded as a person, and that shit hurt me so much. And people used to tell me that all the time, like, oh, how do you feel? Your husband left you in a bed sleeping to go do drugs. How much of a great person could you be? Like, you know what I mean? Like, a lot of people broke me completely the fuck down. And I had to build myself back up from absolutely fucking nothing, like the ground. Like, family, friends, other sides of family, like, everybody broke at me, like, literally, like, chipped away at me. Like, everybody made me feel like I was absolutely nothing, and I believed it for so long. I believed I was nothing for so fucking long. I'm not even joking. Like, it was the most absolute difficult time in my whole entire life. And honestly, like, I wouldn't even say that I'm fully even over that. You know what I mean? Like, I still have, like, that feeling, like, that I'm never feel good enough for anything or anybody or anything that I'm doing. And it's really difficult for me because it's like, it discourages me, and I don't even want to do stuff anymore. Like, I don't care anymore. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have, like, I just I just feel like I'm not good enough. I'll have a job and feel like I'm not good enough. I'll have a boyfriend and feel like I'm not good enough. And I just ruin everything around me because of it. And it's like, I don't know how to not feel like that. You know what I mean? And then, like, because of the type of person I am, and because I'm a really giving, like, caring, like, if I mess, like, if I'm like in your corner, I'm your friend, like, you 1,000%, I got you. Even if I don't got myself, you know what I mean? Even if I don't have $20 and you need $20, I will send you $20 in my account and have 10 cents in my account. You know what I mean? And I feel like a lot of the times it's like people take advantage of that, and like in the end of it all, when everybody else gets whatever they want and I'm still here sitting here by myself, it's like I still have the feeling of not being good enough, because like if I was, I wouldn't be treated like this. You know what I mean? And that stemmed from my husband dying, because of how he died. Like, a lot of people think that like I'm okay sometimes because I'm just such a strong person, and it's like I'm not okay. And I'm never gonna fucking be okay again. Like, I'm never gonna be the same person again. I am never gonna be the same way again. I'm never gonna think the same. I'm never gonna feel the same. Like, and that's so hard for me too. Like, even to love someone, even to be with other people, even to fucking love my kids, love myself. Like, it's a journey every day. It's a task for me. And it's hard. So I'm not gonna sit down here and say like, okay, yeah, like being a widow is easy. It's not easy. It's not fucking anything. It's not a piece of cake. It's nothing. I just wear it well because I'm good at hiding my emotions, and I'm not a crier. I'm not like one of those people. You get what I'm saying? But this hit me in my solar plex. Like, I mean, this shit knocked me on my ass. This shit took me the fuck out. Like, I thought I was gonna die. I wanted to die. I've wanted to die. I begged God to kill me. Like, take me with you, please. Like, I can't do this without him. And like, I just feel like I became a widow at 29. I celebrated my 30th birthday by myself. I celebrated my 31st birthday by myself. I'm gonna celebrate my 32nd birthday by myself. And it's just like, even if I did move on with my life, even if I'm doing other things, and like, you know what I mean? Like, it's still a lot like difficult for me, because like I'm always gonna have this anchor on my ankle that's just like holding me down, you know? And it's like, a lot of times, like, especially online, people, you guys are mean sometimes on here. Like, you guys will make fun of me, you guys will say so many things about it, and it's like, bro, like, I literally went to sleep and the love of my husband was alive. I woke up and he was dead. I still don't even understand what the fuck happened around me. Like, I still don't even know. I literally went to sleep. I went to sleep and I just normal, everybody sleeps. I went to sleep, he went to sleep. I thought I was gonna wake up, make breakfast, whatever the case may be. I woke up and he was gone, like, not even here anymore. And that fucked with my mental and my whole way of thinking it in itself. You know what I mean? Like, and a lot of people ask me like, how are you doing on your journey? How are you doing on your journey? Girl, I'm not even halfway through my journey. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I was at a really good place, you know what I mean? And like, I knew like anything, like, yo, if you're going through a situation like that and you feel like getting in a relationship, being in love, whatever the case may be, like, that's gonna make you better. It doesn't. It does not make it better. I'll tell you that. Like, you need to just focus on yourself, heal yourself, do you, you know what I mean? Because I did that in the beginning too. Like, what? I had a hot pocket. I was out here running the streets. I was like, buddy, I'm gonna find somebody to love me. Because, you know what I mean? I was in denial. I'm like, this guy didn't even love me, bro. How could he love me and leave me like that? You know what I mean? And then like, I ended up destroying myself in the process. And then it took me double the work to even build myself back up. I don't know where I am right now in this life, but I do know that I am not where I was in 2021. And I'm proud of myself for that. I'm extremely proud of myself for that. I was in a very dark place for a long time, like a really long time, like a really, 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 really long time. And sometimes I feel myself slipping, and I'm like slipping into this place, and I'm like, no, I will fucking crawl, scratch, bite, like claw my way out of that spot. On God, I will. I don't ever want to be down in that place again. And I'm so sorry for anybody who is going through a fresh death and they are just becoming a widow, I'm not even gonna sit here and say that that was easy. It's not. I felt like I died. Like I was dead and I was walking around and like I could hear people talking, but it's like I couldn't say anything. I I had visitors. I had people come visit me. I had people talking to me. I had people calling me. I could not tell you anything that anybody said to me. I don't remember. All I kept thinking was like, what the fuck? Like, that's it. And I was so mad at God for so long, like, for so long, because I was just like, bro, like, how did you take my brother and my husband? Like, pick a struggle. Like, you want me to kill myself? Like, be for real. You know what I mean? Like, what is this about? Like, I don't get it. Like, why would you destroy me? Like, I just picked my pieces back up from my brother, and my brother committed suicide in 2008. So I had just picked those pieces up, you know what I mean? And a lot of the reason why I picked those pieces up from him dying was because of my husband. You know what I mean? He helped me tremendously, so much. Like, even when I was in a dark place, he loved me no matter what. You know what I mean? And that's one thing I can say. Like, that man loved me no matter what, and I'm not easy to love. I'm actually quite a difficult person to love. I'm easier to be I'm an easier friend than I am a girlfriend. Like, oh my God. I'm crazy, okay? I'll admit it, but I'm a good crazy. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you want this thing back kind of crazy. Like, I miss that girl. Kind of crazy. Not like don't ever talk to me again, you crazy beach. Kind of crazy, you know what I mean? But I just want to say that, like, for everybody that is going through a difficult time, whether you're a widow or not, it really doesn't get easy. You know what I mean? Especially when you share memories or children or all of that with somebody, you know, like it does become difficult. I had a household, I had finances, we had accounts, we had children, we had business, like we had school, we had so many things that were structured around each other. It was like when he was gone, it was like that my whole life fell apart. Like, I'm not even gonna say it didn't. My actual whole life fell apart. I had to start completely over. Like, get a job, do like normal, like slowly do normal people things. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it wasn't until like sometime last year, like late last year. I'm lying, like early this year, I believe it was, that I realized my rings when I was wearing my rings, um I felt way more depressed than I took them off from this hand and I put them on this hand. Um, but when I had them on my marriage finger, I felt so depressed. I felt like this is what I could have had. This is what I could have been. This is what we could have did. You know what I mean? And it was just like, it was messing with my mental, you know what I mean? It was messing with like things I had going on to like and to this day I still do like my husband, like, you know how girls say my man, my man. I be my husbanding the freaking place down, like the man is still alive. And like I have to remind myself sometimes, like, Britt, don't say that. Like, shh, don't say that. You know what I mean? And it's like, it's difficult for me. Like, and it's like the only way for me to actually not be depressed is if I talk about it. And it's like me talking about him so much all the time, I know that like everybody else around me is just like, it's either they feel sad for me or they just don't want to hear it. You know what I mean? So I kind of like learned like to keep it to myself. And I know you're not supposed to do that. And I did. And it didn't help, you know what I mean? But at the same time, like, would I go to therapy? Probably not. To this day, I still wouldn't. But I just want to tell anybody out there, like, it doesn't get, I'm not going to say it got easier for me. It honestly got harder over time until about 4 or 5 months ago. I'm not even joking. Like 4 or 5 months ago, I was like, okay, if you don't get up, if you don't get up like that man did, like, if you don't get up like your man did, like, you better stand up. Like, you better stand up. You know what I mean? And I have a dark sense of humor. So I do make some rigged up jokes. And people be looking at me like, Britt, And I'm like, what? Like, I will tell Shanice, I'm like, bro, like, I'll be having like, and yes, I did, you know what I mean? I have moved on. Like I did try to be in other relationships and those kinds of things, you know what I mean? But like, I will tell Shanice, I'm like, Shanice, I need to leave this man, like my man left me. And she'll be like, Brett, like, what? Like, why are you saying that? And I'm like, oh my God, my bad. Like, I don't even know how that came out. It just came out. But I feel like it's the angry part of me that still wants to low-key punch him in his face. You know what I mean? I swear to God, yo, on God, bro, when I get to the afterlife, Mr. Sir, I'm boxing you. Because how could you leave me like this? And then you know what? You didn't ask for the Benji. You didn't ask for the bench. You said, oh, Brady, I just came out of jail. I just want a son, you know what I'm saying? Like, just give me my little son, man. I'll take care of him, nigga. Sir, you laughed like a year later. BFFR. So a part of me is still a little like, you know what I mean? And then a part of me wants to rip my hair out. A part of me is crying inside. When I mean on the floor. 90s R&B music style in the rain, pulling my shirt, crying inside of my skull. That's another part of me. And then another part of me is like, go get a new one. You know? So I'm just like, oh my God. That's the emotions I'm going through for life. So if anybody was wondering, I don't even think I can help another fellow widow because I'm still going through all of those emotions. If those emotions explain, if you know me and that explains it perfectly, I feel like that will explain it perfectly well. Like, those are the emotions that I'm going through. Sometimes I'm laughing. Sometimes I cry while I'm laughing. I'll be laughing and start crying, you guys. Okay? But I just hope that like this gave some insight to a little piece of something that you guys wanted to hear. I know it's not like the best explanation and I'm probably all over the place as usual, but I just it's not an easy topic for me either. You know what I mean? I probably will be able to explain it way more smoother. Way more. I'll probably be able to explain it in a more better way when I am fully healed and I can talk about it and I'm like, yep, but right now I'm like, I'm shaking in my boots and I don't want to, but I don't want to explain on TikTok anymore. So, yeah. You guys bear with me. I know my videos are crazy just like me, okay? If you know me from TikTok, you guys will know why my YouTube looks like that. Somebody help me. I need to look on YouTube help or something. You know, I'm about to edit these 2 videos together because I was bawling. Like, I was giving wrong dates. I was like, bro, like, I was freaking discombobulated. But anyways, you guys, please like my video, comment below, subscribe to my channel. Don't forget about me. I'm going to start dropping videos more often. But the videos you guys be asking for are some real difficult stuff to talk about. Oh, what, make a YouTube video about how you became a widow. Like, oh, get out. Get out. I'm recording a YouTube video. Please get out. No, because you guys already knew that. Like, get out, please. Thank you. Okay, good night. Bye. Bye. Sorry, guys. Those are my other 2 kids. If you know, freaking Mason is forever in my business. Like, just leave me alone. I already told them. I'll let them go outside so I could record this video on God. And they still came in here to mind my business. Anyways, yeah, you see? You're looking bad, you kids. Anyways, but I just wanted to say thank you guys for bearing with me and my little ghetto self and my little ghetto YouTube page. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate all the love and support that I've gotten from everybody. And I hope you guys will continue to rock with me. And we're going to just go up from here because on God, where else are we going? We're going up, dog. We're going up, bro. We're going up. We're going to hit 1K subscriber, 10K subscriber, 100,000 million subscribers. Boom. 100 million. You know what I mean? So you guys just bear with me. I'm crazy. I'm all over the place, but you guys are going to love it here. Everybody loves it here. All right. That's all I got to say. Bye.